At 70, I realized these 5 people were draining my life, even family. Have you ever found yourself being contacted by family members only when they need a favor? Do you feel exhausted because you're constantly bearing other people's responsibilities? Just because you're older or seen as more responsible? Or have you cooked meals and helped others, only to be met with indifference? If any of that sounds familiar, then this video is definitely for you. Once we pass 65, many things in life start to change. Our bodies aren't as agile. Our memory might slow down a little, and most of all, we begin to view life with a different lens, deeper, more empathetic. When we were younger, we could tolerate more. Hurtful words, disrespect, even being taken advantage of. But at this age, what we need most isn't glory or flattery, it's inner peace. A morning waking up with a smile, a warm-hearted conversation, a day free from people draining our energy. But not everyone around us helps us get that. In reality, some people, whether longtime friends or even family, are silently draining our strength and joy every single day, and we don't even realize it. Today, we're going to speak plainly and truthfully about 5 types of people you should stay away from as you enter your later years. Not out of hatred, but out of protection for yourself. Don't forget to follow the channel so you won't miss our future videos full of meaning. 1. The manipulator. They drain you without you even knowing. I used to think I was lucky, still healthy, surrounded by friends and a decent family. But you know what? The person who exhausted me the most was actually my dearest granddaughter. At first, she just asked me to babysit for a few hours. "Just a bit, Grandpa, I have a quick meeting." Then it became the whole day. Then came, "Can I borrow a little money? I'll pay you next month." Next month became the month after. And I kept helping because I thought that's what grandpas do. Until one day, I was sitting in the living room, my hands shaking as I held a prescription not covered by insurance, asking myself, how can I take care of everyone else when I can't even take care of myself? Have you ever been there? That feeling every time you try to say no. Your chest tightens with guilt because they make you feel selfish. They say things that sound gentle, but leave you confused all day. You're the only one I can count on. If you don't help me, who will? But then I realized something important. Helping someone doesn't mean letting them control you. No one has the right to make you feel guilty for saying no. I learned how to say no. It was hard the first time. My hands shook, my heart hurt. But afterward, I slept better. I felt freer. And most importantly, I felt like myself again. If someone only comes to you when they need something, always creates urgency, always expects you to sacrifice without ever asking if you're okay, then you're being manipulated, my friend. Don't be afraid to disappoint them. Every time you dare to say no, you're really saying yes to your health, your longevity, and your peace of mind. 2. The irresponsible. That burden isn't yours to carry. There's something I didn't fully grasp until I was 68. You're not the emergency lifeline for your whole family, and you're certainly not a bank for those who refuse to stand on their own feet. My name is George. I'm 70 years old, and for many years, I was the fixer for my son every time he messed up. The first time, I didn't hesitate. "Dad, I lost my job. I need $800 to pay rent." The second time, his credit card got blocked. The third time, he trusted the wrong people again. And I kept helping again and again, not because I had plenty to give, but because I thought that's what a father does. But do you know what hurt the most? When I started having financial difficulties and he stopped calling altogether. That's when I realized my kindness had been taken for granted, and his irresponsibility had become my burden. Dear friend, so many of us at this age are carrying weight that isn't ours, from money problems to emotional stress, just because we're too forgiving, too afraid to make others upset. But here's the truth. You can't help someone grow up if they're not ready to take responsibility. You don't owe anyone the lessons they need to learn on their own. Advice for you. Set clear financial boundaries. If someone keeps asking for money, say, "I can't support you financially right now, but I can help you find another solution." Stop feeling guilty. Saying no doesn't mean you don't love them. It means you're protecting yourself. Choose smarter ways to help. Instead of rescuing them, guide them to real solutions like financial counseling, emotional support, or letting them face their own consequences. Remember, you've spent your whole life caring for others. Now it's time to care for yourself. And sometimes, letting go doesn't mean you're abandoning them. It means giving them the chance to grow up. 3. The ungrateful. When kindness is taken for granted. I still remember last Thanksgiving, I spent the whole morning in the kitchen, roasting a traditional turkey, mashing potatoes, and baking pumpkin pie, just like my late wife used to make. I wanted to hold on to a little piece of her. She passed away 3 years ago. I invited the kids and grandkids, set the table, turned on some music, got chairs ready for each of the little ones. And then, while we were eating, my granddaughter looked at her phone and casually said, "Why didn't you just order food?" That would have been quicker, less work, not a single thank you, not a glance of appreciation. I smiled, but inside, I felt invisible. Have you ever felt that way? You give your all, do things out of love, only to be met with cold indifference? Ingratitude isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a cold look, or silence when you long to be acknowledged. It's that feeling that maybe you don't matter. I know many older folks like us are used to sacrificing. We don't demand, we don't complain, but that doesn't mean we don't feel. You deserve to be thanked. You deserve to see appreciation in your family's eyes. And if someone, yes, even your children or grandchildren, constantly treats your kindness like an obligation, then it's time to stop. I've learned to slowly give less. Not because I love less, but because I've decided to give love to those who truly appreciate it. You can do the same. Give your kindness to those who say thank you, and give the rest of your life back to yourself. The self-absorbed. You're present, but they never truly see you. Have you ever sat at a family dinner, surrounded by laughter, but felt like a stranger in your own home? I've been there. Every time my daughter visits, she talks non-stop about her job, her future plans, her friends. I sit and listen, nod, smile. Then I mention, I went to the doctor last week. They said my blood pressure's a little high. She glances at her watch and says, "Oh, make sure you take your meds. Anyway, about my client meeting." And that's it. My story, just a tiny footnote in her conversation. Dear friend, that feeling of being ignored, of being unseen, it's not always about hatred. Sometimes they're just too caught up in their own world. They want you to listen, but they never listen back. They want praise, but never remember what you've been through. Being self-absorbed doesn't make someone a bad person. But if you always have to stay silent so they can shine, if your own stories are constantly drowned out, then you're slowly losing your voice and your sense of self. I've learned to make choices, to listen, but also to share with people who listen back. Because at this age, we don't need more spotlight. We need more understanding. And you deserve to be seen. 5. The critic. When words become a weight. There's a type of person that's hard to spot at first. They don't exactly hate you. They call, they check in, they're around, but they always have something to criticize. Why do you dress so sloppy these days? Why are you posting silly things on Facebook? At your age, why even bother exercising? Just rest. I had a friend like that, Jim. We'd known each other since our working days, but every time I saw Jim, I left feeling tired. He always had a comment, no matter what I did, even the smallest thing, like buying a new cart or choosing a supplement. He had something to say. At first I thought, whatever, he means well, he's just looking out for me. But over time, I realized I started avoiding sharing anything because every time I opened up, I braced myself for gentle judgment. Dear friend, we've spent our lives trying, enduring, taking care of others. At this point, we don't need anyone making us feel worse about ourselves. If someone constantly makes you feel not good enough, even with comments that seem harmless, they're not helping you grow. They're wearing you down. You have the right not to listen to negativity. You have the right to be around people who lift you up, not tear you down. I've started choosing my friends again at 70, and let me tell you, it feels like a weight off my chest. Final thoughts. A lesson in living peacefully. You know, after all these years of struggling and giving, here's what I've come to realize. Old age isn't about how many people are around you. It's about whether those people bring peace to your life. There was a time when I thought, it's okay to put up with a little discomfort. I'm old now. Keeping the peace matters. But I was wrong. Keeping the peace doesn't mean letting people walk all over your boundaries. The more you let things slide, the more they take you for granted. The more you stay silent, the more they assume you feel nothing. At some point, we no longer have the energy to chase after people's approval. What we need to protect isn't their comfort, it's our own peace of mind. That is the most precious gift, and it's something you absolutely deserve. So today, I invite you to do what I did. Start resetting your boundaries. Whoever makes you feel drained, create distance. Whoever takes you for granted, stop giving without thought. Whoever makes you feel small, step away and go where you're truly loved. Ask yourself, am I really living for me? Or just surviving through sacrifice? If you've ever felt what I've felt, used, dismissed, silently hurt, leave a comment below. I'll read every word. And if this video spoke to you in any way, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe. Because I believe so many others need to hear this too. You're not alone. We, who've weathered so many storms, deserve to live the rest of our lives lightly, peacefully, and fully.